Oh, well, good morning. Facebook at its best today and doing its thing. It has to do what it has to do. We cannot help Facebook. It's certainly still going. Anyway, good morning. Success. Finally, Facebook showed up. What can I say? So, good morning on this amazing Thursday morning. We just had a hiccup with Facebook, but actually, she came through. Or I'm going to call it he. He came through. So, Facebook does whatever it wants, whenever it wants. So, anyway, so here we are. Good morning. It's a bright, sunny morning. I haven't looked at the temperature. I didn't look to see what it was today. I think it was maybe -3 or -4, I heard. So, Facebook took its time to wake up today. Facebook needs to go to bed earlier so that he can wake up. He's not a girl, it's a he. So, good morning, and how are you on this wonderful morning? Thursday morning. It's a sunny day. It looks like it's going to be chilly, but it's a really nice day. So, greeting to self. Your eyes are sparkling. Your eyes are sparkling today. Hello. Here you are. Your eyes are sparkling. You look absolutely wonderful. So, this is what happens when you greet yourself in the morning. Your insurance for survival throughout the day. You know you look wonderful and your eyes are sparkling. So, here you are. Oh, good morning. And how are you this morning, Yoko? And how are you doing today? So, today's mantra is what you believe. What do you believe? My work makes a difference in the world. My work makes a difference in the world. That's your mantra for today. So when it's getting difficult, when with me with my Facebook doing its dance this morning, he was not in a mood to wake up. So my work makes a difference in the world. And that's what kept me pushing at that little thing. Good morning, Corinne. Pushing and pushing that little thing just to make sure that I got it going. So my work makes a difference in the world. This is my work for the day. So anyway, here we are this morning. And hi, Debbie. How are you doing? My morning blessing to you today is I cannot is another way of saying I will be shamed. I cannot is another way of saying I am going to be ashamed. Right? So yes, and you are ashamed. You should be ashamed when you said you would. I cannot. I cannot is not a good thing to say. I cannot is one of those very good bad examples. I know how to change I cannot. I had to. I had to change it and do what I wanted to do. Trust me, that is something I had to learn at a very early age. When I first said the word I cannot to my father, I have told this story so many times. He gave me a dictionary and asked me to find the word cannot. I couldn't. So I was forbidden from using it. I had to write it 100 times. That I cannot does not exist. I can exist. And finally we drop I cannot and I can. I can. So I don't know how not to try. When we say we cannot, we are thinking of the people who will judge us if we try and fail. That is one of the reasons why we do that. So this makes us feel ashamed even before we try, because we are so frightened of the people who will tell us, you're doing this again. Didn't you learn your lesson the first time? You're failing again. That is what they do. So that's why we go, I cannot do that. I cannot. And when you're saying I cannot, you're thinking of who will find out that you've done it and be ashamed and shame you for telling you you're not good enough. Can you imagine? People told Whitney Houston that she wasn't enough, that she wasn't good enough with that voice that she had. And always at the back of the mind, she said she always had that. She always knew she wasn't good enough. She had to, that's what they kept telling her. Try harder. So it makes you feel ashamed of yourself. It makes you're afraid. And then with fear, because of what they will say, you feel ashamed. The shame of others snickering behind your back, calling you names, saying, who did you think you were? To even try, calling us failures. They say you're a failure. Why do you bother doing this? You cannot do this, you cannot write, you cannot read, you cannot sing, you cannot talk, you cannot smile. But they find things to tell you. They will remind us of the many people they know, or they know right now, or they knew, who never made it and they were better equipped than we are. They will tell you that. I knew somebody that was really good at it and they did it and they never succeed. Who do you think you are to do this? They criticize how you look, how you dress, whether you are too short, too tall, too skinny, too fat, your nose is too long, your nose is too wide, your nose is too big. The list can go on and on. They give you all the reason why you cannot do that. You don't have the look for television. You don't have the look for you to do this. You don't have the look to talk to people. You don't know how to. You have an accent. And you know, I don't think people like you, they let them do those things. That is what they do. So when we say I cannot, it's all of these things we're thinking about. Because we know they are there. They know and sometimes these people are not far away. They're not strangers. If they were strangers, you could say, okay. But these people are right next to you. They are in your family. They're your friends. Those you consider your friends. Family. They will put you down before they put you up. They told you there's a passage in the Bible that said the prophet was not known in his own village. So where you are, they don't take you on. They ignore you, they poo-poo on you. And that you know is happening, so you're ashamed. I'm not going to do it. I wonder what my friends will think. But it doesn't matter what they think. But we know all of that already. So we are going to try, we are going to walk into it and do the thing we want to do. And maybe if we throw caution to the wind, we will feel better. And this is why we have to stop using the word cannot and let the shame drop. Because, you know, sometimes you got an entry-level job and you're going to apply. And somebody will say, really, you want to work with her? She's not nice, and I don't think you can do it. Why would you bother? You just want a job to make ends meet. All of that they will say to you. But you know you want more. You know you feel better studying and tearing your head off. I went through that. When I first opened a book on financial planning, it looked like Greek to me, and I was not 20. So I figured out how much information my brain can take after the age of 40. It can only take 1 hour at a time. So cramming like when you were in your 20s doesn't work when you reach your 40s. But I couldn't let people tell me I was too old to do this. And why are you doing it? I wanted to do it. So I didn't feel ashamed and I worked at it. I wasn't afraid of what they were going to say. We have to make sure that this is the reason why we have to work harder. This is easier said than done when they tell you, oh, don't do that, don't do this. They can tell you. So you have to know what you want. And don't let the shame that others put on you affect you. Don't feel shame because you're going to try, you might fail. You have to fail. If you don't fail, you cannot get better. If you don't fail at it, if you don't stumble, if you don't knock your knee, you won't learn. You won't be able to improve yourself. You will know why you fail, and then you will say, this is what I did wrong. What can I do to do it better? So failing is not the end. Failing is just the beginning of a big, big career. Failing is the beginning of a big, wide life. Failing is the beginning of starting to save. And when you save and you maybe had to take out of the 200 you saved, you had to take 40. And you really feel hurt. Don't worry about it. You know now that you have to make better preparation. You have to save more. You have to save harder. You have to stop doing this and stop doing that so you can get to where you want to do. You want to go. I already had to do all of this. I'm one woman who paid attention to the critics for a while. I listened to them. And then I realized, I looked at them. And then I said, there is this person who's telling me what I can do, what I'm doing right, and she is not able to do anything for herself. She's not taking care of herself. She's not making effort to look after her health, but she's wanting to tell me what I am doing wrong and what I shouldn't do. So I decided, I looked at this person and I said, oh yeah, watch me. So there are many people who will be so happy to remind you of all those reasons why you should and should not do what you want to do. And then you begin to use the word you cannot. When the time comes for you to try, you let shame and some fear take over, and that is not what you do. This is how I handled it. I wrote I cannot down on paper. I wrote it, you're not good enough on paper. You're not, you shouldn't be doing this on paper, all across the one page. And again, I wrote, I can. I am good at what I do. I'm really good at math. And I know how to manage money. It's easy for me. And I kept writing that down and I kept saying, yeah, I can see through a person when they need my help. I can see what they want. I can push them to get it. I am good at that. And I wrote those words down over and over on the page that is telling me I was too old to study. On the person that told me you don't know how to write. Or the person who told me your spelling is wrong. And then I started reading books and I saw the spelling was way wrong. Like the children would say, the little kid would say, it was way wronger than it ever was wrong at all. So then I wrote that down. I can. I covered the page and I wrote over it with I can, I will, until the words cannot and shame disappeared. I did this over and over and I grew stronger. My body felt more involved. I drew it until I stopped caring and I took my career and my life in my own hands and became the unstoppable woman I am today. Nothing can stop me except God. The only stopping is God. Nobody else can affect this. When you look at Hawkins, look at what he left behind. He was in a wheelchair and he could really push the world with physics. Look at what he left behind. So if he could do it sitting in a wheelchair and people had to hear his voice through a computer, what about me? So that is what you have to realize. Don't let somebody tell you what you should do when they themselves don't know what to do for themselves. You must remember that the shamers, the people that are telling you all that is wrong with you, have a lot more wrong with them. That is why they're so busy looking at you. They cannot take care of themselves. So when somebody tells you you're not good enough, you shouldn't try, do what I did. Look at them and study them and say, who are you to yourself? You don't have to tell it to them, but then show them. You know what they say? Don't tell me anything, show me. So you don't have to tell them, you have to show them. And then you have to hear their mouth and their lips say, my, I didn't expect that from you. They will say it because stupidity in their head is stupidity. They don't even know when they're saying something they shouldn't have said because of what they said before. Do you get that? They and this, they're telling you, oh, you're so good at this. And you're thinking in your mind, you are the one that told me I was useless and I wasn't good at it. But the real power stands in you not saying a word to them. That's where your power lies. You never said, but you told me I couldn't do it. You don't say that. You don't want to be like them, so you don't shame them. You accept them gracefully. And you just say, I know I can. I know I could. And I will succeed. Because you wrote it. And remember, when you're feeling the I can people or I cannot people on top of you or the shame, even if you don't know, but the shame has taken over you, write it down. I am ashamed to try because I might fail. I am ashamed to try because I might fail until the page is covered. And then you go over it. I know I can. I can do it. Don't even use the word shame. I can succeed. I have it in me. I have something to do for the world. Like your mantra of this morning, which said to you, my work, remember your mantra? My work makes a difference in the world. So you write, what I do make a difference to the world. What I do make a difference to my family. What I do make a difference to my friend. And you can do whatever you want because what you do make a difference in somebody's life. Whether it's picking up the phone to say hello, whether it's baking a cake and sending a slice over for your friend, whether it's saying come on the porch and have a glass of wine with me. So there you go. What I do, my works makes a difference to the world. What I do make a difference in the world. Don't let people tell you. Don't let the thought of somebody telling you you failed do that to you. Prevent you from doing what you do. Pick it up and start again. When you fall, do you just lie there? If you trip and you fall, do you lie there? That's the question you must ask yourself. No, you don't. You find a way to get up. You call for help. What is the same thing you do if you try and you fail? You say, okay, do you know what to do? I was doing this and that is what happened and I'm really so, can you help me? It's the same thing as saying, please help me, I have fallen. So when you fail, it is just the beginning of a brand new journey with new information because you know why you fail. So now you can fix it. So don't let people stop you from failing. It's in failing that you develop. You think it took them one try to create the vaccines? Do you think so? You heard when they had to pull it up or do this or this one or that, and they had to tick it and talk it. Well, that is what we do. So don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't try, and don't you feel the shame. So when you hear the word cannot, drop the last three letters and just use I can. As I said, I always quote Henry Ford. I can and I will. I want it. I will get it. And that is what you have to do. So I hope you enjoyed this morning. For the word cannot, take it off our dictionary. Sending you light and joy on this wonderful Thursday morning. I am happy you dropped by to say hello. And it's a fabulous day. Spring is on the way. So ladies, I am pleased you are here with me today. Thank you for dropping in. I hope you got your pearl, your diamond, or a nugget. Which one did you get? Because I cannot has nothing in it for you. But I give you a golden pearl, a black pearl, a golden nugget, and a pink rare Canadian diamond. So please take it. Send in your light and joy. Have a wonderful morning. Bye.